Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I can't wait for it to come out, man. I'm just counting down the days, really. Like, it's just such a. I think even after all this time, it's such a big thing for us releasing records. You know, it's not something that we just throw out. You know, there's so much effort that's put into them. So yeah, I can't wait, man. I really can't wait. But it is weird. It's weird not being able to play a show and see that connection. But we just got to make do and try and be as positive as we can, really. I just don't really care for that side of things. I don't really. I think when bands do that, I think it can be really cool if it's done properly. But I think I like the element of surprise. You know, I think there's so much goes into a record, and so much time and effort that I feel like if you start talking about when you start writing and stuff, people are like, okay, where the fuck is this record? Like, come on, like, hurry up, where is it? And I quite like the, you know, the same day, you know, the video, the single, the album is back, the pre-orders are up. I think as a fan, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, whoa, amazing. Like, it's almost like all this information at once. And yeah, I think it just keeps it fresh and also keeps people on their toes as well. So they never know when there's an Architects record coming or not. Also, you know, I don't ever think like another Architects record is always guaranteed, especially after like touring Holy Hell and everything that was happening around that. I think people were, yeah, it's nice to surprise people in a good way. Well, yeah, we'd already, with the industrial sort of side of things, we discussed that with Tom. So before Holy Hell, we were saying that Tom wanted to take the band in a sort of more sort of industrial heavy direction. So Animals was the first time I really felt like we actually managed to really do that, which was really cool and was really fun that managed to come together, and it really felt like we were doing him proud there. And with Dead Butterflies, yeah, I think that element of things has always kind of been there with the strings and the orchestral stuff. But yeah, that was just another way of taking it to another level that maybe other bands and people hadn't been using. Yeah, which was really cool. And I think it makes everything so much more dramatic, doesn't it? Yeah, that was written before everything was written before the lockdown, but it was recorded during the first lockdown. But yeah, that line's super interesting because obviously we are all living in like quarantine now, so it feels more current than ever. But that song really is about sort of the state of the world and how we're all sort of like distracted from the problems that we're actually facing and the you know inevitable climate crisis that's coming, and we're sort of turning away from it because it's easier to, which is, you know, and that's including ourselves in that as well. I'm not saying that we're not better than anybody else. You know, it's sort of a worldwide sort of issue of like, why aren't we all trying to stop this, and why aren't we all on the streets trying to do this? But it's hard, isn't it, when the people in power are the ones that don't really give a shit. It's hard to change their minds, you know. Some of the songs, yeah. So there was a lot of demoing that was done out there. We were supposed to do like 2-3 weeks of demoing in Australia, but there was the fires. So we did 4 weeks of demoing in Bali because Dan was going there after Australia anyway for a little like getaway. So yeah, we just rented a villa and did stuff there, which was super cool. Like set up my room and, you know, made a little booth out of towels and like anything we could find, which was super fun. It was weird, man. Like, such a beautiful place. I'd only been there once before, so yeah, it was really, really nice. Really picturesque. Really, really hot. Like, insane. But yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to all be in the same place more than anything, and just be really focused. You know, between the hours of like 11 till 5, it was like we were in my room working. And then before that, you know, we would all go for breakfast together, and then all go down to the beach and hang out and go for dinner together. So yeah, it was nice to be in the same place, you know, all reaching for the common goal, really. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like being given a really cool opportunity, but having to learn while everybody's watching. Um, and you know, sometimes things don't work straight away, but I think we worked super hard to make them work, especially Dan. But I think, yeah, I think this one more than anything than Holy Hell, because yeah, he's not involved in this one, so it's sort of it's exciting at the same time nerve-wracking, you know, sort of coming out of that time and sort of just putting ourselves out there, you know, and being like, this is what we want to do, this is how we feel creatively satisfied and excited. So yeah, it's been interesting, and you know, I feel like we're getting better and better at songwriting as we keep going. Yeah, really great, man. Winston is such an amazing guy, such a good friend of ours. So it was a no-brainer that was going to happen at some point. And yeah, just super happy with how he sounded. It's such a perfect part for him. I think people will really like that song. And Biffy, yeah, we've been such big fans of them for such a long time, and really vocal in our love for that band. And to get Simon on the record was really like a dream come true, really. And yeah, he was so cool. Turned it around in like 3 days, and then we were all there listening to his vocals, just being like, "Wow, this is so nuts that we've done this." And then with Royal Blood, they're such a great, cool band. I love them so much, and Ben and Mike are two of my like really good friends. We grew up in the same town, so we've been close. I speak to Ben every day. So yeah, to have him on there, it felt really cool. And yeah, each singer brought their own vibe to the song, and I feel like they've all got such like identifiable voices. They're so like charismatic in what they bring that it really took each bit above. It was weird. It was like playing to ghosts. Like, you know, all the seats were lit up, and it just looked so incredible. But yeah, you just really missed that like actual one-on-one connection. Even if you're just seeing somebody in the front row and you make eye contact with them, it's yeah, you can't replicate that. But you know, I feel like it was a good. It was good for us to be together, because we hadn't been together in a long time, so we could have rehearsals. And you know, it's difficult, especially in this sort of, you know, lockdown period, unless you have work, you know, you can't do anything. But you know, we have to do that. We had to go and rehearse because that's our job, that's our livelihood. So it was nice to be able to do that, especially in such tricky situations where so many people have been so affected. It was really nice to be able to sort of, I guess, connect our fans around the world as well. And especially the night after, when we did like a rewatch of it, it was so nice that we could connect with all our fans, and sort of, you know, tweet along with them, and you know, get some insight into what it was like recording and writing these songs as well, which you don't get at the time when you're playing, because you're just sort of so focused, you can't pull out your phone and be like, oh, what do they think of this, you know. So the night after was really cool. But yeah, it feels like it's something that, you know, more bands are going to have to do it for now until things get better. Yeah, I think we'll probably do something again. I'd imagine we would, if it stays how it is now, because you know, so much of being in a band is touring and seeing your music connect with people. So yeah, if we stay in this much longer, then I'm sure we'll figure something cool out. But we'd have to do something really cool, like we did with the Royal Albert Hall. It would have to be a cool location or something. I think it's a really exciting time, and it's yeah. I just hope it can take us to new places around the world. I hope it can connect more people. I hope that, you know, maybe we could be one of those sort of like gateway bands that, you know, gets people into heavier music as well. You know, like when we were younger and when I was a kid, you know, bands like Metallica and I guess, you know, sort of like those under oathy type bands that bring people into the scene. And, you know, without Metallica and without Black Sabbath, you know, you wouldn't have any like Architects and Bring Me the Horizon. You know, they sort of opened the door for us. So I hope we can, you know, keep going and keep creating this legacy and move up and, you know, climb up these festivals and maybe, you know, headline some of them. I don't know. It would be really fun. It's something that we came up with, and we've been talking about it for a while with the other sort of merch companies that we go through, about moving into like a more sustainable like world. You know, obviously with the talk of climate change and sustainability, I think what we wanted to do is really put our money where our mouth is and not print 1,000 t-shirts on shit cheap cotton that, you know, takes so much water and it comes from God knows where of people, you know, not being paid properly to make them. It was important for us to maybe take a step up and show these other companies that we're with what we want to do. So things may be a little bit more expensive, but that is because it's like organic cotton. We know where it's come from. You know, we know the people that are printing the shirts. It's like the designs are coming from our friends. We're making sure everybody's paid properly. We're making sure it's shipped properly. We're making sure the packaging is recyclable. It's like there's everything's being thought about, and it's not perfect. You know, nothing starts perfect, but it's a start, and it's been really fun to be creative with Dan and Ali. Us three are the ones that are really the driving force behind it, with the designs, everything down to the colorways, where the little tags go on the shirt. Like everything has been done by us. Yeah, it's been super interesting, especially during the first drop before we'd released any music. We had the like label in the middle that said "For those that wish to exist," and nobody got it. And then we had like a t-shirt that said "Dying is absolutely safe," and nobody clocked that either. So it was, yeah, it's been super interesting to sort of, yeah, move down that world and create like stuff that is limited to like 100, you know, so that you're one of 100 people in the whole world that has this shirt. So you're not just going to throw it away. You're not going to like buy it if you don't really love it, so that it's there forever. You know, there's so many shirts living in boxes in warehouses that nobody's ever going to wear, you know. And I think the time and dedication into creating something super cool and limited means that you take care of it. You know, I spent my whole life looking for like old vintage band shirts that, you know, were from the 60s and 70s, and you know, I take great care of them, and I hope that people, you know, really take care of these designs as well. Awesome. Thanks very much, man.